This is Come to Daddy with Reuben K, the podcast about celebs and their parents for people who like to shoot for the stars but mainly aim for the back of the throat. I'm not saying I've got daddy issues, but my dad viewed me as a multi-dimensional living work of performance art. But my mum just saved time and told everyone I was a poof. Oh my God, why are you here?
Come on, script. Otherwise we're going to have to pay for another hour. I don't get to be in front of the camera very much.
Oh God, please.
So I thought I would...
Okay. She's getting sweaty hot. All right, come in.
Well, it's
Come
funny.
in.
Reuben has said that my mum used to say to me, Amanda, you need to calm down. You're getting sweaty hot. And when I get hot now, I get really panicky because so I can't exercise.
You can't I can't. No, I won't. I can't. Not many people know this, but your mum was actually Kathy Bates in Misery?
She's no longer with us. Not Kathy Bates, unless something's happened while we've been in here.
Someone check on Kathy Bates.
Yes, but my mother. So I'm not going to be drawn on. I'm not going to be neggy, but yes, more like Mummy Dearest. But no. Love you, Rosemary.
Rosemary for remembrance. How are you doing this week, Amanda?
Yes, very good. Very excited about today's guest. I've worked with her a couple of times. Very funny. She's got more followers and views and watches and engagements online than I think there are people in the country.
Such an impish little thing.
You mean me?
Well, with that pixie mullet haircut.
It's a mullet hawk.
Is that what it's called, a mullet hawk?
Mullet hawk. But anyway, over to Reuben for our wonderful creative content. Thank you very much. And enjoy.
It's time for you to leave and take your meds.
And enjoy this week's show.
See you
Leaving.
Later. She doesn't know she's only got a few months left to live.
I feel like we're really cohesive in our outfits and hair. We look like we're playing siblings in Mary Poppins.
We're the Banks kids?
We're the Banks kids.
Oh my God. My guest today is ridiculously popular in the digital space. 3 knuckles in with her social media skits garnering literally millions of views, and she's been generous enough to allow her parents to take part in some of them. Come to Daddy, Abi Clarke.
Hello.
This is so nice of you to come and join us.
Thank you. I enjoy popular online, no friends in real life.
That's how it should be.
Popular only in the digital sphere. Correct.
I don't believe that. I think you'd be very popular. You seem so amicable. You seem so lovely.
Oh, thank you. I try very hard.
It's all so much effort.
It's a psychopath behind. No, joking.
When's the Netflix documentary coming out about your psychopath?
Imagine.
What's your crime going to be?
I think I'd start a cult.
That's good.
I do think I have it in me.
Do you think of it?
I think because when I
have
was
it in me is such a great phrase.
I think it's possible if life took a turn with in a certain set of circumstances.
Hello. So Abi Clarke, Come to Daddy is sort of a meditation on parents and how they've affected you, better or worse, in who you've become in the world today, and even just as a comedian. So I just before we get into the deep-seated trauma, sorry, I just touched you there.
You just touched me.
I'll
Twin flame.
It's begun. It's begun. We just like to start off with just some basic questions. I want to get a little image of what your childhood bedroom would have looked like.
My childhood bedroom, it didn't really have a look. We moved a lot, so I don't have
because you were in a cult.
Yeah. Dad was a cult leader. No, so they're actors, but the kind of actors that need to go job to job.
Yeah, fair.
And also at times became teachers for a bit or teaching assistants.
So not very good actors.
Well, good actors, not very successful actors.
You should absolutely say this absolutely true. Good acting and successful acting.
Different thing.
Very different things.
Very different thing.
Rarely are they ever
They've had waves in their career. They've had great success, and they were like, "Oh my God, let's buy a house." And then the show ended, and then it was like, "Oh fuck!" And then we moved, and we'd often move when we needed to downsize or go somewhere cheaper. Quite often.
This is why I will rent until I die. I was going.
Well,
you have to own. You have to. I'm like, why? The world is going to end in 20 years? I'll be 60 by then, and I'm not going to have kids.
I can't believe you so willingly just gave away your age.
I'm
I would never.
Yeah, but I'm quite at one with the universe, and you'll know that if you subscribe to the
It's
first.
real cult language happening.
But what is it? Are we talking a single bed? Are we talking a double bed? Are we talking reflective UV stars on the walls?
Usually, from when I remember, I got to a double bed, which was nice. A lot of toys. I was quite.
What kind of toys are we talking about?
We collected quite a few Beanie Babies, me and my sister.
Sure.
Build-A-Bear.
Build-A-Bear.
Loved Build-A-Bear.
Yeah.
I had this weird alien called Pluto from the Science Museum in Leicester.
Cute.
Loved him. There was some creepy rag doll called Rosie.
Why is there always one element of a child's bedroom that is also a child's nightmare? That is the most
No, but she
comfortable,
was like one
sacred
of my
thing.
favourite toys.
That's
and yet
it.
I look at her now, I'm like, that toy was creepy. Yeah.
One of my friends has a thing she calls Blanky, and I'm not
I hate
naming names.
those.
Blanky.
I hate those.
Blanky, and I kid you not, it is rags knotted together. It
I
looks like a
refuse to partake
Dickensian
in
child's
that, yeah.
noose. It's awful. It could be a sanitary napkin from BCE.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I need it. And it's,
I don't understand that.
what is?
I literally wrote a sketch about it the other day.
Oh, really?
Slagging those people off.
Please send it to me. I'll send it to her.
Okay, yeah. It'll be on Radio 4 in February if you listen in.
I can't believe you're on Radio 4 and I'm doing this in a basement.
We're actually top floor.
This is okay.
Second floor. Okay.
But it looks like a basement.
But like, yeah.
Tell me, what was your favourite childhood meal?
Oh, McDonald's chicken nuggets and chips.
Right.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Golden Arches.
The Golden Arches, they really fed a lot of us, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did your parents cook for you? They had to have cooked for you.
Yeah.
But did they
I
struggle with it,
wasn't
or
like
did they?
4 in an apron. I just want to come across as a really down-to-earth girly who had a really humble upbringing. So yeah, like cooking from the age of 3.
To be fair, my mum did teach me to make a souffle when I was 8.
Really?
Yeah.
8's acceptable movie.
I
I was...
What is the acceptable age to make a souffle?
I would say I don't actually know children's ages.
No.
They're just
No,
ageless to me.
I don't understand.
It's more just
children.
heights.
Yeah.
I go off height.
When everyone says, "Oh, here's the months," or "Here's the days," this is how many months old it is, how many days. That's pointless. I really
Don't make
need
me
to
do math.
tell me the weight in pounds so I can calculate the cooking time. Give me something useful, or just call me when he's old enough to sew.
Tell me how long it takes to get there.
Did your family do things sort of as a unit, or were you all quite disparate?
No, we kind of did stuff as a unit. I have a brother and a sister.
Right.
People don't know I have a sister. She has some way of disappearing. She
Oh,
always
what a-
has.
What a gift
It's-
that people like you and I in the
It's
public
genuinely
eye.
a gift. It's crazy. Like, you'll go watch her in like a choir concert and she'll just somehow be the only person stood behind a pillar. Like, I don't know how she does it. But like she just disappears and you're like, where's Emily gone? It's just a skill of hers, whereas the rest of us are horrid attention seekers.
Right. Is your
front
brother
center.
brother's also a performer?
He's also an actor, yeah.
Oh my God. My parents tried to distract me from being anything involved in the arts.
Well, so did my parents.
Yeah?
They were like, don't do it.
Yeah, right. That as blunt as that.
Yeah, they were like, don't be an actor, never be an actor.
It feels now how much we know about psychology in kids that is the only surefire way to make you.
Well, I didn't become an actor.
That's true.
Technically, I stuck to the word.
What you become something much more successful, which is so infuriating to actors because it's viewed as a lesser art form. But they're like, but you're making more. How are you
I know,
doing this?
it was tough for my brother in lockdown, I think, when acting even disappeared. Because he was quite like Golden Boy.
Yeah.
He's like star of the West End. And
Ah.
then suddenly in lockdown, I overtook and suddenly I was getting work. And it was like, what?
Yes.
And I was like,
All it took was for the world to collapse, for you
Exactly.
to shine.
I don't want to be like selfish about it, but like maybe I am God. I don't. Oh, cool.
Cult. Let's get to know your parents a bit better, your begetters better.
Yes.
Yeah. What are their names?
Paul and Julia.
Paul and
Why
Julia.
did I panic?
So why did you be like? I have to make them up.
I feel like I said Paul twice, but I didn't.
No.
Paul and Julia.
Where do they live?
Right now, they
Yeah.
live in Bristol.
Do you think they'll listen to this?
What, my parents?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Well, Dad, yes.
Yeah.
Dad listens to everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he like
Anything I do, he will watch or listen to.
as a fan or with a critical eye?
As a fan. He
Okay,
loves
great.
it. And then mum only if like she's in the room while he's doing it, or he like makes her. But not because she doesn't want to, she just is like scared of all technology.
Oh, like a complete Luddite.
So he has to
also sign of a cult.
he has to like set it up for her.
That's adorable.
But she's also quite bad at like sitting and just like listening to something. She'll probably about 10 minutes in get itchy and be like, I need to iron. And then like, I have things to do. It's like, where's the cat? Where's the cat a lot? It's like she panics.
Is she quite an anxious person?
She is quite an anxious person, yeah. I do
And-
think she's passed that down.
Dad isn't?
No, he is as well. We're quite an anxious family actually. But compared to mum, he's
Gandhi.
the solid
Yeah.
one we rely on, which is quite a worry, to be honest.
Do you think the three siblings you said it's inherited that anxiety?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between you and your
We're
brother
all
and sister.
deeply anxious, yeah. I think in different ways though.
Yeah? What form does yours take?
Quite like quite OCD, kind of. I get very specific about like tiny decisions. You know, when people are like, "Oh, it doesn't matter," I'm like, everything matters.
Yeah.
Everything matters, and everything will have an effect. And I think that's why I'm a commitment phobe, and I'm like, it stresses me out. I'm quite perfectionist. That's the word.
Yeah. How does
Massively.
perfectionism work when you're making? I mean, it seems when you're making your own work.
Are you saying my work isn't perfect?
No, because I've never seen any of it. When you're making your own work, do you find that is a big hurdle to cross? You're like, no, I've got to retake this because this thing was slightly off and this thing was slightly off.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's really being a perfectionist and doing online content is not the one.
No.
I think that's why I love stand-up, is because you always get another go at it.
Mm.
Like, you can continuously improve it and keep changing it, and like...
If you view stand-up as a sort of a long-form project, it's not actually about the gig, it's the aggregate effect of it.
Yeah. And like, you can always make it better, and if it didn't go right, you're like, well, I can change it next time, that's fine. Whereas content, you get one go at that video and that idea and that sketch, and then that's it. And so I will spend days and hours just like obsessively watching it over, being like, have I missed anything, and changing like milliseconds in timing, which isn't really what you're meant to do. Like, TikTok is very much just kind of like, get a video out every day, hodgepodge, whack it together.
The urge from TikTok and social media to be like, just be you, but also be like the most perfect you every time,
my
and the
God.
pressure for it to be a very perfect distillation
Yeah.
of a point of view, of a joke, of a bit of you. They're so antithetical. They bump up against each other so much.
Yeah, and also I think if you serve people like really high quality content, if you then try and go to low quality content, they'll be like, what?
Oh yeah.
Why isn't this high quality content? And I was like, because I was killing myself making that.
It's trying to be like, keep it organic, but keep it consistent. You cannot have the two.
You can't have both.
Can we get like a little snapshot of their lives or their attitudes between Paul and Julia? Julia, I was about to say Linda. Linda.
Yeah, same vibe, isn't it?
It's
It is
Julia
the
and
same
Linda, they
vibe.
have the same vibe.
She has a brown bob with a fringe. Do you know what I mean?
It could be a Linda.
She could be Linda. Personalities. My dad, I think, is a frustrated comedian. I think that's why he like listens to so much of this stuff. Like, I think he is living through me slightly. That like he just loves it.
But are you okay with that?
Yeah. I really get on with him. Like, I think it's quite nice actually that I've become like really mates with my dad since living with him as an adult.
Right. So you live with your dad now?
Yeah, like I don't anymore, but I lived with them in lockdown.
Right.
And a little bit after uni. And I think when I found like we do like banter and like it is much more of like a meaty relationship now, which is actually really fun. Whereas my mum is more of just like a mum relationship because she doesn't do the banter quite as much.
But does she have sort of opinions about your content and your dad? Are there creative kind of arguments? Because they're in your content as well. And they're performers in their own right.
Yeah. Well, that's why I used them. I was like, when we were in that lockdown and I saw everyone cracking their parents out and, you know, using their granddads for a Pretty Little Thing brand deal, I was like, well, I've got like some professional
You got the goods.
performers in this house.
They can hit a mark. They can deliver a line.
Well, this is why I was like, it would be like I know they could do that and it wouldn't be too difficult either. I was wrong about that. It was very difficult.
Oh, really? How?
Well, Mum finds it quite stressful. I think she's like a proper actor where she is very happy and comfortable playing someone else, but she's not very comfortable being on camera as herself. Whereas my dad loves it because he is a frustrated stand-up comedian. So he's very good at doing all like the jokes on camera and stuff as himself, whereas Mum likes to be like a character. And they're not dancers. They're actors, but they're not dancers. So the choreo is quite difficult. And people would get very stressed because I'm a perfectionist and they know I'm a perfectionist. So they'd be very stressed about the fact that I'm a perfectionist.
I think the stress of a parent wanting to do something for their child
Yes.
where their child is the authority is like, we've got to do this right. It's for our child.
Like, they're scared of me, I'm sure. Like, they shouldn't. I won't do anything.
Which is a natural order.
But, like, they know how much it means to me and they know how, like, specific I am. That I think it was good when we stopped doing those videos, for sure.
Hey, am I right in knowing that you nearly ended up in the circus as a teenager?
Not as a teenager, but before I did stand-up, I graduated from uni. I didn't realise until I started talking to other people that this is such a, like, creative family thing. Because I wanted to be more employable. And so I, like, graduated from uni. I knew I probably couldn't be an actor because that's so crazy competitive and I'm just a white middle-class brunette girl. There's so many of them. And
We'll edit out brunette for this broadcast for the visuals.
Sorry, I've dyed it.
I'm a natural blonde, so everyone else can shut the fuck up.
And then I tried to be a director because I do like directing. That's what I quite like about making my online content is like directing it. But then that was that constant thing of like, you don't have enough experience, but how do you get the experience? And you were like assisting for ages. And I went to go watch one show that had like circus in it. It was a Sally Cookson show. And I was like, maybe if I trained in circus, I could be like a movement director and I've got like a special skill that would make me more employable. Never once did I consider a normal job.
Not once did you ever think, maybe I'll learn how to make coffee.
Yeah, never. Well, no, I was working in a cafe already. Been there, done that. But never once did I think I'd just like go get a proper office job.
I know it'll make me more employable. Straps, Ariel, riding a
silks.
horse.
Exactly. It was all just about building that CV. And but yeah, and because I lived in Bristol as well, and they have that circus school, and I just, like I said, when I was a kid, I did dance, and then since I've just really liked fitness and being physical, so I was like, I'd actually really just like to do it, and so I auditioned, and I got in, which was a bit mad, because when I got there, everyone else auditioning, like, circus was their life, and I was like, oh, I saw this one show last month, and I just fancy it, and then, but I got in, and I didn't really know whether to go or not.
Right.
Because I think so much, my mum knew someone who'd gone and they were like, oh yeah, he always says that he found his tribe. And I was like, oh, it definitely
I love
wasn't
it when white
my
people say
tribe.
that. Yeah.
I was like, they weren't my people at all. Like I did not, on that audition day, I did not fit in. And then the week before, I decided to do a stand-up course instead. Genuinely.
And were your parents more supportive of that, or were they quite supportive of the circus?
They've been supportive of it all, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very good having actor parents because I've never experienced that thing of parents going and get a proper job because they have no leg to stand on. So, yeah, they've always been supportive, really.
My parents were both artists, and even after seeing me perform like the Hamburg State Opera, they were like, "You've got bartending as a backup." Because and I took it to me like, you think I'm terrible, but actually they were just so nervous that the work would end.
Yeah, they know.
That they want you to be sort of protected is the word.
Yes.
Hey, you said to me that you'd found your online stuff to be much more like PC and family friendly. Well, my stand-up is like, it's definitely not that. But do you think you've done that sort of out of respect for your parents because they're involved in it?
No.
It's just,
They've
nah.
Honestly, my dad has like helped me write some filthy jokes.
Oh, really?
Not in like a weird way, but they've heard all my material. They've been there, like I've been in the because when I first started stand up, I was living at home, so I'd be pitching bits and writing. I think, people do find that weird, but I think because they're creatives, they just see it as
work.
script and like
so
work.
There's a good like separation there between.
Yeah.
Do you ever do stuff? I guess the next question is I talk a lot about my family on stage, and I try and clear jokes with them. I go, hey, this joke feels a little close to the bone, but I think I've got a good handle on. Here it is. What do you think? And letting them make that decision. Is that kind of how it works with you?
Yeah. I don't as much with my parents because I think they're good game. I have to be a bit more sensitive with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
But
Why?
he's
Because he
always
feels
been...
like he's got a bit of a reputation to uphold because he's got his own career?
No, I think maybe because like he's a bit more separate. He's got his own family. I don't see him as often. And I don't know if it like... I don't really know. It might be less clear whether it's personal or a joke. Whereas because my parents have been there from day one of starting stand-up, they understand it so much now. They've seen it all, which is kind of crazy.
They don't get a cut of the royalties, do they?
Maybe one day. I do need to repay them.
Yeah.
I need to like get a sitcom and cast them in it. They're going to be nepo parents.
That will be the dream for you to subvert that. Hey, now it's time for the pick and mix, where you dip your hand into the sweetie jar of childhood experience and pick a selection of potentially tongue-numbing tales to share with us. Pick and mix, pick and mix. It's time for us to do pick and mix.
No, it's so unfair.
All right, you have picked It's So Unfair. Abby, tell me, what's a call your parents have made that you still bear a grudge on?
Okay, so it's my birthday party.
Oh, high stakes already. What age?
Like primary school. I don't remember exactly what age. Maybe like year 4.
Mm-hmm.
Year 4, year 5.
Mm-hmm.
And my mum decided everyone in my class would be invited.
Oh, horrible decision.
Boys and all. So everyone's calling me a slut.
Yep.
Straight out the gate. So she invited everyone. So boys and school bullies.
Oh, when
Yeah.
parents just invite everyone because they don't know the interpolitics of the school?
Yeah. So we have this birthday party. It's great. It's at the local sports centre. There's a bouncy castle.
Right.
Um,
Ice cream cake?
no,
Oh, ice cream
that's
cake's
not
like...
a thing here.
Wow, I feel so judged.
It's too cold. We don't want ice cream.
It's an Australian
We
thing.
want cake. So obviously, school bully. Yeah, she was the worst, and she was being really mean. So I was around the back of the bouncy castle crying on my birthday party.
God.
Right? My parents come around, and they're like, "Suck it up."
Oh, I hate that. The lyrics are, it's my party, I'll cry if I want to.
And then I got in so much trouble for making such a fuss that I wasn't allowed to open any of my presents.
Oh. Paul and Julia / Linda. I want a retrial.
I'm and I have never let it go.
No, and nor
Because they
should
were
you.
so wrong. And I was like, you have to understand that she was being the bad child. And I was upset, and it's my birthday.
Parental advisory.
AKA, do as I say, not as I do.
And the next one you've chosen is parental advisory.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of what's the best or the worst piece of advice your
Well,
parents
my
have given
mum's
you?
constant advice, which I think is good advice, but also maybe quite depressing.
Sadly, some of the good advice is...
But she has always said, keep your expectations low, and then you can only be pleasantly surprised.
I have caught
And that's
myself...
like her catchphrase.
I've caught myself saying that to myself as a mantra just because of the world,
Yeah.
independent of ever meeting your mum.
Well, it's her mantra as well. I think it's especially an actor's mantra.
Yeah.
Like, she never expects to get anything, to be successful, and then it's only a pleasant surprise.
It's so different to the people who go, I manifest everything.
Listen,
I deserve this.
it
This is
doesn't-
mine to have and mine to hold.
It doesn't work in a manifestation world. Like, I can't manifest because I've been drilled expectations low.
There's an old Jewish saying, which is hope for the best, expect the worst.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can do the both.
Well, I mean...
Because if I'm hoping, I
Yeah,
start
you're
imagining
not
what
wrong.
would happen and then I just get disappointed. So you do just have to expect everything to be shit, but then that is quite depressing. And I do find that I feel like sometimes I've dated people who are more like, it'll be fine. Like, they expect everything will be fine. That's their...
Yeah, but they haven't been
that's
crying
their
behind the back of a bouncy
set
castle,
mindset.
have they?
Whereas my mindset is, this will be... everything will go terribly wrong and we need to prepare for that.
Yeah, but I think that's also healthy. I
Maybe.
like to live in like a state of whatever happens will happen and there's no control. You should be prepared for things. You should just be like, brr, brr. That's all I can do. And that's
That
not
sounds
really...
that's the healthiest, probably.
It's also not really a plan because I didn't finish the sentence. I just sort of went brr, 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 and just
Yeah.
crossed fingers. Hey, there's one last thing
Okay.
here before we release you from our lovely
Sweatbox.
sweatbox. This is called Shall I Be Mother?
Shall I be mother?
This is where you get to look into my eyes and imagine that I am Paul or I am Julia
Oh, God.
or Linda. We don't judge if they want to be in a threesome. And imagine that I am them. And what would you say to them?
Oh, this is uncomfortable.
You're not allowed to look away.
No,
by
I
the
have
way.
to look away. I can't make eye contact. I would just say thank you. I think the best, because I think people talk with like nepo babies and stuff like that about like the step forwards or like privileges your parents give you. And I do think the privilege my parents have given me is support. Like, that's the biggest privilege of all. Like, they have been in my videos. They've done so much, like, free work, in all honesty. And that has, all of that support, all of that not going, when are you going to get a proper job, all of the, like, sitting outside for an hour while I do a dance class that was too far away for it to be worth driving back and then coming back. Just like all of it, they have been the most supportive parents. So it's mainly thank you. I'm very uncomfortable,
That's
but
fair.
yeah, that like I think that is my biggest privilege is to have parents that just will do anything, in all honesty.
That's so
to,
lovely.
to see me succeed.
And that's on top of pushing you out of their bodies.
Well, only one of them did that.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Oh, I am under
Dads.
it. There's a lot of blood.
It was strange. No,
Hey, thank you for coming to Daddy.
thank you for having me.
Where can
I keep
people...
getting thrown by the title.
I know, it's an odd one, isn't it? But I love saying it every time. Thank you for coming to Daddy. Where can listeners, the Daddyettes, find you?
Fun. They can find me at Abi Clarke Comedy.
Great.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, all of them. Isn't it exhausting?